Yeah, so that was really, really odd. My video recording just stopped. Yeah, I have no idea what happened. So I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to record the rest of these notes without interruption. So there's going to be a part one, the last video. This is going to be part two. And hopefully there's only two parts, as I was saying. So Darwin recognized some of these fossils as being similar to organisms that are currently living, and he was, I wonder if these organisms are related. I wonder if, like, I mean, because obviously humans, we know that we have ancestors. We know about our, at least a couple generations back, great grandfather, mother, great grandfather, great grandmother, stuff like that. So he maybe wondered if the current organisms that he observed in nature were related to these organisms that he had fossils of. All right, were they all similar to other species? No. Some look completely unlike any creatures he had ever seen. Okay. So obviously he's not making as many connections there, but he was really focusing on organisms present day resembling organisms from the past. So I think here's one of my mistakes. Yeah, it's second number 9. I'm going to do this. Make it easier for you guys. I'm just going to call this 10. Okay. And we're going to save it. And we're going to go back here. Sorry about the interruption, kids. Boom. All right, so what geographic clue of the Galapagos Islands did he observe? So the Galapagos Islands are a series of islands, and they have different climates. I mean, we're talking about evolution versus religion and God creating everything, or there are some people that say God created evolution. But this really was the perfect place for him to land, the Galapagos Islands. You might even say he was, careful, destined to arrive here. Just a wide variety of climates with a wide variety of different types of organisms, a perfect place for him to arrive and start making observations. I really wonder if he would have never seen the finches with their different shaped and sized beaks, whether or not he would have actually come to his final conclusions. That was a very easy way for him to discover how organisms are adapted to their environments. And they choose to live in these environments because they're successful living in these environments. All right, moving ahead. All right, let me change this real quick. 11, 12, save it again. And here we go. All right, so patterns among organisms of the Galapagos. So he saw a lot of variation in the organisms that lived on the different islands. So, what did these observations lead him to wonder? Or what thoughts did they generate in him? So he wondered if these, and we're talking about the finches in particular, that if these different finches that lived on these different islands maybe had a common ancestor. All right. Now, the Galapagos Islands, I don't remember exactly how many miles they are off the coast of Ecuador. But the idea is that maybe you would have to have a male and a female, at least one male and one female finch. There's flying along, all good to go. Oh, storm! Crap! What do we do? I can't see anything. There are clouds. Where's the land? I don't know. I'm just going to keep flying. I'm getting really, really tired. I'm getting really, really hungry. Oh, look! There's an island. Let's land. So they land, and look at all this food. Hey, what do you think? You want to have some babies? All right, so that's what he thought, is that maybe all of the finches came from one ancestral finch, male and female. Okay, at least one male, at least one female, from the South American mainland. Okay, and now they're isolated. Okay, they've got all this food. Why leave and go back to South America where there's all that competition? There's like very little competition here. So the idea is that these finches, over thousands and thousands and thousands of generations, slowly evolved different beak sizes and shapes based on the types of foods that were available. And I'm almost making this sound designed, and I don't want to make it sound designed. Remember, evolution comes from either mutations, small changes in the DNA that affect the genes, that affect the proteins, that affect the characteristics, or in this case, the beak size. So small changes in the DNA mutations or crossing over, when gametes are being formed. Okay, exchanging of genes, creating new gene combinations, which could lead to new proteins, which could lead to new characteristics. The idea is that these organisms had these changes, and then, whoa, my beak is so much bigger now. I can eat this fleshy, easy to eat stuff, or I can go over here where there's less competition, and I can actually crack seeds open. So I'm going to do that. And now they're successful in that environment, and they have kids with bigger beaks. And then slowly over time, this one finch species evolves into 13 separate species. That's the idea. Okay. And of course, if you subscribe to the theory of evolution, you believe that's how it happens. All right, moving on. Okay, Darwin observed that many plants and animals were blank to their blanks. You might want to take a look back at number 6. Yeah, well suited or well adapted to their environments. Good. What did some of the fossils he observed remind him of? Take a look at number 8 and 9. Yeah, they reminded him of organisms that are currently living. And he started to wonder if maybe the current living organisms are ancestors of the original species of the fossils that he was looking at. Good. What did Darwin think about the different organisms on the Galapagos and those of the South American mainland? Take a look at number, before it was 11, now it's 12. Yeah, so he wondered if the organisms, and there were other organisms, don't get me wrong, that he was observing on the Galapagos, but that the organisms maybe came from a single ancestral species that had migrated or being blown off course in a storm and arrived at the Galapagos, and that over thousands of generations, these 13 distinctly different species of finch had come from one single South American finch. Good. Okay, let's practice. Darwin's observations in the Galapagos Islands included all of the following except. So which one did he not actually observe in the Galapagos Islands? What do you think? Characteristics of many living organisms did not vary among the different Galapagos Islands, meaning they were all the same. That doesn't sound very familiar. Many plants and animals were well suited to their environments. Ding, ding, ding. Very different animals inhabited many similar ecosystems. Ding, ding, ding. Remember the grasslands? Same types of environments, but different species live in there. Those, though close together, the islands had very different climates. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, correct answer is A. Next one. According to Darwin's proposed theory of evolution, species of organisms, what were those key words that you need to memorize to understand what evolution means? Species of organisms change over time. The alternative is they're changed by something or somebody. The idea of evolution is that they change based on their ability to be successful in their environment. Darwin hypothesized that different looking mockingbirds from different islands might be descendants of birds that. Which one up there sounds familiar? Yeah, belong to a single species from the South American mainland. All right, last one. What role did the evidence gathered by Darwin play in developing his ideas? It immediately gave him the idea that organisms evolved. You guys, it took him decades after he got back to England for him to really refine his ideas. It wasn't immediate. It confirmed evolution, an idea he had before he left England. He had no idea what he was getting himself into. It confirmed evolution, which he proved on his arrival in the Galapagos. Oh, no. No, it took him many, many years after the trip he went on. That would leave D. It led to considering the possibility of evolution only after he was heading home. So when he started heading home, he was pulling in all this information, started to develop his ideas, and then we're going to watch a movie starting Friday called Darwin's Dangerous Idea that'll kind of walk you through what took him so long after he got back from England. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad this video actually finished. That is it for the notes. Remember, these notes are due Wednesday, April 7th at 9 p.m. And I will see you, well, either in class or in the Zoom.